Welcome to this tutorial, and fair warning, this is going to be a rant because it's all about CAGED, and guess who doesn't like CAGED? That's right, this guitar teacher does not like CAGED, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, in everybody's guitar journey, mine, yours, the busker that you passed on the way to work, they have all had on their guitar journey, we have all had, a series of aha moments. A series of, oh yeah, that's pattern recognition. Oh right, that's the same as that, okay? This happens hundreds of times in your guitar journey, and that's how it should be. Now, what some bright spark who invented CAGED did was cram a whole lot of these aha, oh yeah moments, shovel them all up, stick them in a really clunky, unwieldy, awkward, difficult to see system, right? And just fling it all at you, as if it's going to stick. And like throwing spaghetti at a wall, it doesn't always stick. There is too much in CAGED, it's too unwieldy, and you don't need it. I'll tell you that now, you do not need CAGED. I've played for over 30 years, I've taught for 20 years, I have never learned and I have never taught CAGED. But, and this is an important but, I know everything that CAGED in its rather complex and unwieldy way attempts to teach you. And I've learned that over the years of studying guitar. I've never needed CAGED. I've never needed CAGED to tell me where the triads are. I learned that from studying chord construction, which of course can take you far further than CAGED can. And when it comes to scales, well, look at this diagram. This diagram looks more like a computer readout from a 1960s Sputnik mission than a guitar scale diagram. And this one here, well, it's just scales. These are just the scale shapes that I learned without knowing anything about CAGED. Take CAGED out of the equation. It doesn't need to be here. So I've kind of reverse engineered CAGED. I've come to the point where CAGED tries to take you, but I've got there in a far smoother and less painful journey, I think. The music theory trifle that CAGED tries to concoct and stuff everything in there is kind of like a comedy custard pie, and CAGED just flings that in your face in the form of these multicoloured diagrams that are really just blizzards of dots. There you go. Do you understand it now? Well, of course you don't understand it. Like having a custard pie flung in your face, all that happens is you end up blinking, gasping for breath, and with a funny taste in your mouth. So let's see how things should happen. Let's say you've got the C chord. Nice and easy, everybody learns it when they're beginning the guitar. At some point you might be learning bar chords, right? And let's say you're playing a bit of cocaine, okay? Let's say you're playing these bar chords here, right? And you're messing about with them, and you might slide one down to fret 3, and you might recognise that these two chord shapes sound quite similar. And of course they do sound similar. Are they the same chord? You might ask your jamming buddy, you might ask your bandmate, you might ask your guitar teacher, you might pose a question on the dozens of internet Facebook groups dedicated to guitar that exist. And the answer will come back, yes, they are all a C chord. It's just a different voicing of a C chord. But hold up the now, because what CAGED does, right? What CAGED does is it tells you that this is a C chord A shape. That's a C chord A shape, remember that. It's a C chord A shape. So now you've got two things to remember, right? It's not just a C chord anymore, it's a C chord A shape. Okay, take it on board. CAGED, everybody talks about it. It's on YouTube, it must be good, CAGED. So I'm on board with that, C chord A shape. So now you've got the C chord A shape, right? Then, a little down the line, perhaps you're learning Creep by Radiohead. A great bar chord song. Utilising this bar chord here. I'm not playing this very well. There's the minor, right? So you might have been messing around with this new bar chord that you've learned. You might get to here. You might play those notes. Then you might get to here just by accident and play those notes and think, oh, those sound the same. These notes sound the same. is this the same chord? This is your aha moment right there. That's your aha moment, you see. That's your, oh yeah, they are the same chord. But what CAGED does, right, is CAGED comes along and overcomplicates this whole discovery by saying, yeah, but it's a C chord, but it's the E shape, right? C chord, E shape, yeah? So remember that. So you've got C chord, A shape, and you've got C chord, E shape. Just call it what it is. It's a C chord. It's a different voicing of a C chord. Look, here's my 3 C chords. C, C, C. That's it. That's all you need to learn. Or rather discover. You don't need to worry about the CAGED telling you it. You just make the connection as your guitar skill, mastery, knowledge progresses. So I don't really like CAGED for the way that it deals with chords. And here's another thing that's really horrible about it. When it shoves, for example, the open C chord up the fretboard, you know, you have a very unwieldy chord shape. I would not really choose this voicing if I was if I was in any band situation. This would not be my first call voicing, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as this one. Open G, which we all know and love, and which is easy peasy. It's a great beginner's chord because it's got 3 open strings. So even if you kind of like fluff the other ones, you've still got 3 strings that should be ringing out nice and clear and giving you a reasonably okay chord. CAGED system, it tells you, right, well, yeah, you can, if you shove that chord up, right, G shape, this is G shape, right, this is a G shape chord, but now I'm playing a B, right, because look, the root's on B, so it's now G shape, B chord to G shape. Why? A, I'm never going to play this in my life, right? I never have played it in my life apart from in the rehearsal for this video, right? Forget that. I'm not some crazy handspan classical guitarist. I do not want to play that chord, ever. I want to play this version of it. And I'm calling that a B major bar A chord, because that's where it is. Forget about B, E shape nonsense that CAGED tells you it is. Just forget it, right? So that's what I don't like about CAGED when it comes to chords. Now, I like it even less when it comes to scales. Because it's, now I'm just checking on the internet here, which I had to look at earlier on. And for your pentatonic scales, the CAGED system is supposed to unlock all these doors and make it like crystal clear, right? The pentatonic scales, minor pentatonic, you got 5 shapes. You need to learn them. Shape 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy, right? But again, CAGED sticks on a whole lot of guff, a whole lot of unnecessary nomenclature, right? Naming it in these ways, which is supposed to reveal things and make it easier to understand. It doesn't. It just makes it like slicing through an impenetrable jungle. That's what it is. Have you ever looked at a CAGED diagram? All those dots, it's like a magic eye picture. You're desperately waiting for, like, you know, a tree or 2 dolphins or a sleeping kitten, a unicorn, anything, just anything to be revealed. And it never ever is. It's just impenetrable. That's what it is. So we've got the A shape. There we go, there's back to C, A shape, remember, because we're calling chords 2 things now, not just 1 thing. So this is C, A shape, and the corresponding pentatonic scale is that one there. Because it has 4 notes that happen to be chord tones of the C, A shape. You see, I can't, I'm even finding it hard to explain it. That there in simple terms, right? Let me tell you what it is. It's position 5 of the A minor pentatonic scale. That's all. It's position 5, box 5, shape 5 of the A minor pentatonic scale. Let me make it even less clear by shoving that up 1 fret. So now we're on D chord, but it's the A shape. Yeah, do you see why CAGED is rubbish? Now we're on a D chord, but it's the A shape of a D chord, it's the A shape of a D chord, and we have the A shape of a B minor, what? The A shape of a B minor pentatonic scale? Look, it's a B minor pentatonic scale, 5th shape, 5th box. That's all it is. In summary, if you've started to learn CAGED, stop now. If you haven't started to learn CAGED, don't. Now fire up a backing track and have a jam. That's what I'm going to do because I need to calm down. Caged. This video has drawn quite a strong reaction in the forums and groups where I have posted it, so please don't take it too seriously. It's really just my light-hearted ribbing of a system that I don't think is very good. But if CAGED works for you, then that's good too, as long as you keep learning, keep practicing, and keep making progress. Thanks for watching.